So it's time for the race one here at the round 2 of Lydd meeting for FAB-Racing MK Mini GP50s, and the riders are ready to get running. Lewis, we're looking forward to this one.
Yep, you can just see there Luke Fitchett waiting to get underway. His dad to his right with a flat cap as well, so it clearly runs in the family with flat caps. But Luke Fitchett raring to go. He is certainly quick. And all of Finlay Paulhill on the left of your picture there on the tech-free inspired KTM liveried Mini GP50 bike. Had a great race yesterday, and now actually they're already heading out to the grid. So a massive field actually in this really class. 23 bikes in the Mini GP50 class, and it's definitely one to watch, and definitely a class which has grown massively over the past year.
Yeah, really expanded grid for the Mini GP50s, and that means plenty of action to enjoy. Two warm-up lap run, so they'll just have a short little run to the grid here to assemble, just to save those extra few seconds that will add up throughout the course of our racing day.
Yep, it'll also save some fuel in the tank, because of course these bikes don't have the biggest fuel tanks in the world, and this race should be 11 laps long, so it should be a cracker with 23 bikes in the field. We've seen some great racing in round 1, just tenths separating the front runners, and you can just see the Metric bikes clearly are working because the racing is so close.
Yeah, it really has been fantastic so far in our championship. Round 1 was a really enjoyable set of races, and now it's the turn of round 2 here with the first of 3 races today for this category.
Yep, first of 3 races to try and take all the honours, all the glory. But you can see actually some riders further back. I believe that's Matthew Thomas having an issue with his Mini GP50, and it looks quite annoyed at that one. But hopefully they can get the bike bump started, and it looks like potentially they have. So Matthew Thomas should make the warm-up laps this time around on the 47. I overheard him saying this morning that he has to continue pushing and continue to learn on this. But although he is ahead of Taylor Tomlinson, who also is racing in his Mini GP50 class, so some of these riders, including the likes of Sam Gardner as well, have a very busy weekend. Very busy weekend indeed.
It is some 50 races overall that we have, and then look to be racing multiple times over the course of this race meeting. This is on a Monday, of course, unusually for the riders as well. So I'm sure they'll be really enjoying it, and away they go.
Yep, away they go on their warm-up laps. A change in the grid this time around. Of course, a new round, a new grid order, and if you're like me, I cannot wait to see what is going to happen. You can see Marco Holt leading the pack on these 2 warm-up laps, and Marco Holt will be the rider who will start the race from pole position. Luke Fitchett will start alongside him on the front row in 2nd place, with Archie O'Brien in 3rd. Finlay Paulhill will start in 4th, with both the Johnsons walking out the 3rd row of the grid, with Byron ahead of his brother Austin. Frankie Watson will start in 7th position ahead of Wilson Dilks. Sam Gardner, after a great qualifying, starts within the top 10 in 9th, with Travis Shaw alongside him. Harley Baker continues in the Mini GP50 class this year with an 11th position start this time around, with Bethany Ashby alongside him. Chloe Gleason starts in 13th, with Matthew Thomas 14th after some bike issues there on the warm-up lap. Taylor Tomlinson starts in 15th. 9 races alone for Taylor Tomlinson today, so very busy for him, with Dylan Tureen alongside him. George Ackerman on the 9th row of the grid in 17th, with Murray Simmons 18th, Annabelle McCarthy 19th, Ollie O'Gorman rounding out our top 10, and Lucy Curtis in 21st, of course sister of Bradley Curtis, who races in the pros and the elite classes. Riley Paisley in 22nd, and Jensen Bishop rounds out our 23 bike grid here in the Mini GP50s.
Yep, this is going to be an awful lot of fun to see this super busy group of riders, 23 of them tackling this tiny this very highly technical Lydd karting circuit. They'll be on the lack of infield as well, so they'll be going straight into the final corner, and we should see some action on the brakes into that final corner.
Yeah, we certainly should. We've seen actually riders right now positioning their bike. You can see Marco Holtz getting final words from his dad. A great family affair going on there. All of them love the racing. All of them just want to see the best for Marco Holt, as all all the parents do for their riders, but the bike's getting positioned perfectly. And you can see Frankie Watson getting some final checks done on the number 14. And yeah, it was to be a great race coming up, and now the final riders making their way into the grid slots.
Yeah, it's going to take plenty of time to get everybody ready. Marco Holt there with the Monster-inspired helmet, and they get ready to get underway. We're missing P3. That's Archie O'Brien not with us in the memorable livery, and a big wave from the starter, trying to get everybody's attention because we're on the countdown for the grid. And there's a problem is that Archie Thomas again?
Matthew Thomas.
Thomas, sorry, yes, who was clearly that bike's not happy. We're ready to be underway, though. I think the bike has been removed. They're going to give them a chance to get going, though. And another bump start here, trying to get the bike underway. Some frantic work there by the supporter. Arm up from our pole sitter. Arm up.
Marco Holt potentially stalled the bike there.
Of course, they've had to... So we've got, that is drama for our pole sitter. He was frantically waving, and they've got it back running again. So we will have our pole sitter from the front. He can't wait to get underway. He's waiting for those lights to get going. We're going to be underway for the MiniGP 50s, and it is a good start away from the line from Marco Holt, despite those early issues. And it's Luke Fitchard, Flapcat Fitchard, into second place, and already the front two far and away from the rest of the grid, Lewis.
Yeah, rest of the grid already are further back, but I'm sure they're bridged because it's one of the Johnsons in third place at the moment. You see battles going on further back. Taylor Thomason getting ahead of Sam Gardner, but now holding them up actually. So now Sam Gardner getting the real blow of that, and now he's dropping down the order. You can see how many bikes are battling for positions. This track is so small, but Sam Gardner, I think, is struggling slightly in the straight line there, maybe just not getting the bike in the power band. But there you can see Finlay Paul diving down the inside of Johnson, and what can they do heading into the final corner? You can't do anything about it. Marco Holt leads away by just 0.2 of a second from Luke Fitchett, and that's Byron Johnson in third, to Finlay Paul in fourth, and Austin Johnson stays in fifth position. So a great clean start. Absolutely
Brilliant start. There was a big speed difference at the back of the circuit there, but Byron Johnson up into third position on his first lap here, getting the jump on Finlay Polhill, who was trying to challenge him back into the final corner, but it just didn't quite work out. That's this group right in front of us. There's Byron Johnson, Polhill, and Austin Johnson.
Yep, you can just see the gaps are absolutely nothing right now. 10 laps to go in this race. What is going to happen? Finlay Polhill on the 199 machine is wanting to make a move on Johnson, wanting to get ahead, because right now he is in a Johnson sandwich, and that is not really what you want to be in. But Marco Holt,
look at this.
Look how much pressure he's under right now from Luke Fitchett.
Luke Fitchett has been quick on this bike, no doubt about it, through the first round of our championship that was also at this circuit. So Luke Fitchett would stand to have a fantastic advantage here by securing really strong points, and he's really game for another victory.
Yep, right now Marco Holt leading the way, changing the way from his minion. We're so used to seeing, it's so strange to see him with something else on, but now getting past some back markers. At the moment you can just see the speed difference, and you can just see the speed difference between the riders. I believe that it was Riley Paisley that were trying to get past there, but Marco Holt on the 58 leads the way, making it 8 laps to go this time around. The gap though between the two are just 0.2 of a second as the battle for third place is starting to heat up. Yeah, and that's Byron Johnson running very, very wide on the way out of the final corner, and Finlay Polhill looking to have a look down into the next S's section, and he didn't quite get the bike just alongside enough, but he was out there on the outside and almost onto the grass. Yeah, he was almost onto the grass there. You see Byron Johnson leading this pack still, and Finlay Polhill under attack from Austin Johnson at the moment. We've seen last race actually, in race 1 of round 1, how close the Johnsons were, and they are not afraid to battle with even each other. Absolutely no, they're chief rival, I think, is their brother Finlay Polhill, having another look down into the final corner, but there's no way through. Once again, it is Byron Johnson in third position, Finlay Polhill and Austin Johnson in this fantastic battle here. Yeah, Austin Johnson really wanting to make a move, slightly losing touch there through that first sector, but it looks like Finlay Polhill got held up. Finlay Polhill looks so impressive, but there's a back marker actually, so Byron Johnson get held up. They go both sides, and the outside and the inside. Incredible stuff, and that was Austin Johnson taking advantage, and he's going to have a look at his brother as well, coming up to the most difficult corner on the circuit, and he's going to have to tuck in there. Yeah, Austin Johnson making the move on Finlay Paul Hill, using the back marker to his advantage, and that is exactly what you want to do racing. But there's Finlay Paul Hill going down the inside, going into the final corner, but Austin Johnson hangs it around the outside, and wow, the front wheel is almost on his elbow there, and Finlay Paul Hill still in that 5th position at the moment. So what can he do? Can he battle, or will Austin Johnson, Byron Johnson, have the usual squabble? Because if they do, it's going to really help Finlay Paul Hill. He looks round the outside, trying to get the switch back now. You can just see the wider line trying to carry more corner speed, but he cannot make it work, and he looks for an opening anywhere he can at the moment as we approach more back markers. I believe that's Ollie O'Gorman.
Yeah, it looks like Finlay Paul Hill having really good traction here and generating a much better top speed when they get to really stretch the bikes out. Marco Holt and Luke Fitchett are still super close at the front, still just 0.2 of a second between the front two, but these three have been switching positions, so we're focusing on them for now.
Yeah, but these three are switching positions at the moment. The Marco Holt Luke Fitchett gap has slightly increased from a couple of laps ago, but I believe we are going to see another Johnson fight. We have 5 laps to go in this race. Austin is a very smart rider, but there is another back marker. They're going to have to try and get past. They're going to have to try and fight any way past, and luckily this time around they caught him at the perfect place, so they could all get past without anyone getting held up.
But that rider was significantly slower than his front leaders in the race. This is those leaders. This is Marco Holt and Luke Fitchett, as Luke Fitchett is tucking right down underneath the windscreen there, just to make sure that he can minimise his height disadvantage at the moment, and down into the next lap with 4 to go.
Yep, of course, these bikes are the first time that the majority of these riders will be using gears for the first time, and gears and clutch, so it's really a new skill to learn. And Luke Fitchett and Marco Holt, they've been racing these bikes for a couple of years now, and you see they've mastered it, and this is how we get these close battles and these fast lap times.
Luke Fitchett is hot on the heels here of a potential victory, and trying to get that overtake done as quickly as possible. He would love nothing more than to secure the victory in this race 1 of 3 today.
Yep, so we would love to secure race 1 victory today, but there they are getting past even more back markers at the moment. Of course, there's been such a big field, it's bound to happen. That's Annabelle McCarthy they're getting past, but Austin Johnson, I believe, may have just tried to make a move on Byron, so we'll have to wait and see what's happened there. But Austin Johnson, yeah, he is ahead of Byron Johnson now, so Austin Johnson up into 4th place.
As they cross the line 0.03 of a second apart, it was tremendously close.
Yeah, Finlay Paul Hill's in 3rd, leading the 2 Johnsons now, so something's clearly happened there, and Finlay Paul Hill has shown his pace, and now he's trying to run away from it. Potentially even some back markers might have got into play there.
It's possible, it's absolutely possible, but it could be that the brothers fighting allowed Finlay Paul Hill to take advantage as well. So we'll see if we can catch any further action between those pair as the leaders come through to complete lap 9.
Yep, the leaders.
8, sorry.
Leaders there getting past George Ackerman on the number 94, as now the leaders power it out towards the first chicane, out the first chicane. There is George Ackerman coming through, as Finlay Paul Hill is just behind in 3rd position with the 2 Johnsons chasing. Annabelle McCarthy, actually, she's doing a great job of keeping on to the back of these 3rd, 4th and 5th place riders. Yeah,
so just maybe learning a little bit from these faster riders coming through, and able to live with them, and that will help her knowledge and experience as she learns her way around this circuit and these bikes.
Yep, she certainly will be, and right now actually she has set a personal best lap of the race with a 48.5, so clearly doing wonders being able to follow them, but it looks like the gap has risen now between Annabelle McCarthy and the other riders. But Luke Fitchett is right in the thick of things, and so is Marco Holt with back markers, so we're at this real crucial point in the race, and we're at a real crucial point in the race because it's the last lap time. We have to get past Matthew Thomas, who we've seen had bike issues earlier on, but last lap time, and Luke Fitchett is getting slightly held up there, had set the bike slightly, wasn't sure of that move.
That didn't work out well for Luke Fitchett. I think that the Johnsons and Paul Hill fight is still incredibly tight. It's anyone's guess as they come towards the line, but it's going to be all she wrote for bike 58. A win for Marco Holt, away from Luke Fitchett in 2nd. Finlay Paul Hill will be closely followed by the Johnsons, and we'll get both of them. Finlay Paul Hill in 3rd. Austin Johnson ahead of Byron at the line, and then a bit of a gap then before we will see P6 come through, but P4 and 5 for Austin and Byron.
Yep, great race here. Once again, a Johnson fight, but these guys at the front, just so mature at such a young age. It's great to see. Look at Marco. He's probably talking about back Marco's there, but he's your race leader. Luke Fitchett is in second, and Finlay Paul Hill, after that freeway battle, comes home in that third place.
I can't imagine they could actually make themselves heard when they're talking to each other and they've got people coming through past on this in-lap, but they're certainly able to communicate something with each other.
Yep, sign language does wonders here on the motorcycle racetrack on the cool-down lap, but it's clear that they both enjoyed it.
I would say so. Marco Holt, what a fantastic race from Marco Holt, from Luke Fitchett, and then Finlay Paul Hill. Brilliant stuff.
Yep, great result. Marco Holt takes the race win by half a second from Luke Fitchett, the number 7. Finlay Paul Hill comes home on the final podium positions of Austin Johnson and Byron Johnson in 4th and 5th. Frankie Watson, a great race for him, didn't mention him too much, is in 6th place. In 7th, it's going to be Wilson Dilts and Sam Gardner just behind him. Harley Baker is in 9th, and Bethany Ashby rounds out our top 10. So great result for Bethany Ashby to be able to get in the top 10.
Definitely. Also, you can see points scored for Travis Short, Chloe Gleason, Matthew Thomas, Dylan Torian, and Taylor Tomlinson as well for their championship bids. And there is Taylor at the bottom. We've got you can see these little drivers trying to push these big bikes. It is a big workout for them. More to come though from these drivers, from these races later on, and that is a great race for our MiniGP 50s.
Next up, we have a great race coming up for you. We have the MiniGP 50s. It's a massive class coming up for you. 23 bikes entered, and the sunshine is out, and conditions are almost perfect for racing.
Definitely, it's still very windy with a cold chill in the air, but that should probably help the bikes to stay cool, so they can be pushing even harder. No concerns about temperatures on the lots of nice cool air going in, and a little wave to the camera there is starting to pick up a bit of a habit, as they've all said. They've all been watching back the footage, so they know when to say hello to everybody watching at home. And if you are watching our riders from home, do drop us a note in the comment section just to let us know who you're supporting. Yeah, we're building the excitement now for the MiniGP 50s. Race 2 of the day. Marco Holt secured the win from pole position in the first race. I wonder what Luke Fitchett can do to respond to that this time. Yeah,
Luke Fitchett is going to need a good start. He's going to need almost a good everything to be able to do that. But Archie O'Brien is back on this MiniGP 50 grid. So what can he do? Starting in 3rd position, of course, Finlay Paul Hill in 4th will also be looking for a great result. So we're going to wait and see what is going to happen for these riders. Marco Holt, as I said, on pole position. I believe he will be slightly late to the grid. He's slightly late to the pit lane. Yeah, he'll be one of the last riders to the grid, actually, before we head out on our warm-up lap.
Yeah, so just keeping everybody waiting for the leader to join the grid, and coming through very quickly, actually, there is another one of the... that was Marco Holt just coming up very quick towards the end, and behind him, wearing the same leathers, is Archie O'Brien, who, as you say, was missing in our previous race. So we're going to be underway for their warm-up lap now, and a little bit of positioning going on, jockeying for position on this warm-up lap to perhaps run this, Lewis, at their own pace.
Yeah, they will be trying to. Some bikes actually struggling to get off the line, so we'll have to see if they can get the bike restarted. And yeah, it's going to be a great race. I'm looking forward to it. 23 bikes in the field. What more can you ask for?
It's a tremendous field we've got here in, and Marco Holt will start from the front with Luke Fitchett alongside Archie O'Brien and Finlay Paul Hill on row 2, followed by Byron Johnson and Austin Johnson, the two Johnsons vying for bragging rights on the trip home. Frankie Watson on row 4 with Wilson Dilks, Sam Gardner and Travis Shaw. Then in 11th, Harley Baker, Bethany Ashby, Chloe Gleason and Matthew Thomas. On row 8, Taylor Tomlinson, Dylan Torian. On row 9, George Ackerman and Murray Simmons, with Annabelle McCarthy, Ollie O'Gorman, Lucy Curtis, Riley Paisley and Jensen Bishop completing our 23 bike grid. So windy, it's cold, but it's bright sunshine. The track should be at its absolute optimum, sort of 2:45 in the afternoon now today, live for everybody watching. But we're on our way as the riders looking excited ahead of our race, and well, they should be. So the last bikes slowly forming on the grid. It will be Marco Holt on the inside in the purple and green helmet with the white helmet and blue bike of Luke Fitchett alongside. But watch out for Spider-Man from behind from row 3, Archie O'Brien. We are ready to get racing. A long hold on the lights and they're away, and a big wheelie there from bike 58, Marco Holt, but he just about got the bike back down again. Archie O'Brien moving down one position, back down to 4th, but Luke Fitchett right on the heels then of our race leader Marco Holt away from the start of this race, and continuing into the long back right-hander. Everybody very settled and ready to unlock some pace now, Lewis.
Yeah, they are waiting to unlock some pace, and I think it will happen later on in this race once everyone settles down. But battles right now forming all the way down the field. There's Beth just behind that duo, but there is Luke Fitchett, and there's Luke Fitchett looking very, very strong on that number 7. We've seen his pace in race 1. It just wasn't enough to take the race win. Archie O'Brien in 4th position at the moment. He got overtaken by Finlay Paul Hill on the first lap, so he has to find some pace and hopefully he'll be able to battle for that race win.
Yeah, absolutely. A good lap there from Luke Fitchett as he picks up the pace. Finlay Paul Hill and Archie O'Brien will continue battling here. Finlay Paul Hill, great start there to get ahead of Archie O'Brien, who hasn't really had the benefit of a decent warm-up today on this bike yet. So this is his first race where everyone else is on their second.
Yeah, it's his first. See both the Johnson brothers already starting to fight. Byron ahead of Austin Johnson, both of them on the Johnson cover machines, and then it was like Austin actually wants to dive down the inside, but he thought better of it. He thought it's too early in the race for a move like that, but Marco Holt leads the pack by 0.6 of a second and takes the fastest lap of the race with a 43 dead.
Yep, looks like Sam Gardner moving up on that last lap as well. Travis Shaw and Bethany Ashby just losing places. Looks like Dylan Torrian moving down to 15th and Chloe Gleason picking up that 14th position, and a good battle there for bike 56. That was Sam Gardner moving up once again. He's had a heck of a start to this race.
Yeah, he hasn't. Now you can see Matthew Thomas trying to get ahead of Bethany Ashby, and they're battling really, really hard further down the field. This is for 12th position at the moment, so every single position, as you can see, matters, and they really need it. And you can just see ahead of them is Travis Shaw having his own battle with Sam Gardner, but Bethany Ashby leading Matthew Thomas through and leading Matthew Thomas towards his final corner as they break. Matthew Thomas looks slightly better on the brakes through there, and then they get down. You can just see the height difference actually between the two riders. Matthew Thomas looks down the inside. Can he make it work? No, he cannot.
She is a very tall rider compared with a lot of the boys around her, so she's going to have to tuck in tight and try and make up for that by getting underneath the screen.
Yeah, all riders trying to get as aerodynamic as possible on these machines. These machines are great to learn all their racecraft on, but then you can see Harley Baker as well having a battle and trying to keep everyone behind them, but battles happening all the way down the field. Harley Baker returning to the class this year, and you can just see how great his pace has been.
Yeah, definitely. That was Matthew Thomas almost underneath the rear wheel there of Bethany Ashby, but she's holding off at the moment as they come through, and a challenge going into turn 1. That was that Harley Baker trying to get Sam Gardner, but without success. Marco Holt still leads this race though by now 1 second clear from Luke Fitchett, who himself is 1.9 seconds ahead of Finlay Paul Hill and Archie O'Brien. Archie O'Brien only 1/10 of a second behind. I can't wait till we get those guys back on screen.
Yeah, and there they are back on our screen. Marco Holt leading the way. You can just see how confident he looks. He flicks the bike from right to left, then back to right, using all of their weight as possible, using all their body weight, all of their strength. They really have to rag the bike about whenever you're doing 43 second lap times. It's really, really quick stuff. 42 second lap times in Marco Holt's case. 6 laps to go in this race. Marco Holt leads the way. Luke Fitchett in second, and Finlay Paul Hill in third on the 199 machine. Archie O'Brien though, what can he do? As you mentioned, just 0.2 of a second separating Finlay Paul Hill and Archie O'Brien for the final podium positions. We should see them there. There they are, yeah. The battle's raging on in the slipstream. Can he make any move on the brakes? It looks like he is. He's making the move on the brakes at the final corner. Archie O'Brien, 5 laps to go in this race. They come across the line now. Spider-Man helmet leads the way from Finlay Paul Hill. So Finlay Paul Hill, yes, moves, but there's Austin Johnson ahead of Byron Johnson.
Those are the Johnson bikes, identical looking machines, just a difference in helmet that you can see on the riders, but Johnson's right together, almost like separated by 17 thousandths of a second across the line that time. But I think Austin got ahead of Byron on the previous lap.
Yeah, it certainly did. Austin making a great move there, coming across the line, and then there. Austin's still ahead, but Byron, he clearly does not like to be behind his brother. He's trying to find any way possible, any way he can. Opens up the throttle towards the back straight. He looks down the outside. That's not going to work. So he backs out of it. He waits for the throttle, picks it up now, and there is Austin Johnson, focused as always. And now it's great to see these brothers.
Wow.
Oh, Byron there. Wow, that was a last minute move. That was an optimistic move, but he backed out of it before any contact was made. 6th position at the moment for Byron, but it's quite easy to tell he wants to be in the top 5.
He wants it badly, absolutely. He does want it. He wants the points as well for that extra position. I do think if they come to blows, it's going to be very, very awkward trip home for the two. But now they are just racing hard and fair with each other. Austin, I do think the slightly slower of the two, but Austin is quite a bit bigger, so presumably quite a bit slower, and he goes round the outside of one of the back markers, and the Johnsons across. We have a rider down, trying to pick that bike back up, but it's a big bike for a little frame to pick up.
Yeah, Ollie O'Gorman having the crash there. I'm sure John O'Gorman and some of the helpers will be out on track. I believe that's actually Chaz Mortimer that's out on track in the jeans there. So great to see him back at a FAB-Racing event. But Austin Johnson, still the leading Johnson brother from Byron. Byron is needing to find any pace that he can. Byron Johnson will catch up, I think. He will just keep pushing, as we've seen. That little mistake he made trying to make that late move might have just disrupted his rhythm.
They start lap 9. That means 2 laps to go as Marco Holt leads the field by 2 seconds from Luke Fitchett, and then Archie O'Brien ahead of Finley Polhill, and we're watching the Johnsons at the moment challenge each other. Hopefully we'll see some more action between the two of them before this race is run.
Yeah, I think we will. 2 laps to go. Byron Johnson, once he sees that last lap flag next time around, that will give him a hurry up, but you can already see a hurry up starting, and they're approaching back markers. This thing starts to get interesting. Austin Johnson dives down the inside, slightly sets up a back marker there, and there's Annabelle McCarthy just in front of them as well. So what is going to happen between the Johnson twins? We can see there towards the final corner we have Finley Polhill there, and then we see the Johnson brothers coming through. Byron Johnson, he has some work to do on this final lap. It's last lap time.
Yeah, last lap, last opportunity, and all the pressure on the Johnsons to show us. That was Archie O'Brien moving down the order, having a really bad lap, and he stopped. He's stopped at the moment, and he's out of contention for the podium and potentially for any points, as everyone is heading on past him. It is Marco Holt, Luke Fitchett, Finley Polhill in this final lap of the race.
Yeah, Mark Holt of the great final lap of this race, a 3.6 second gap. And now he takes the checker flag. Luke Fitchett taking the checker flag there. And now we await for Finley Polhill as well, the orange bike. But
double win for
race.
Marco Holt. Fantastic stuff from him.
Yep, great win from Marco Holt. A very good result. 3.2 seconds of a gap at the line between himself and Luke Fitchett. Finley Polhill comes home in 3rd. Austin Johnson was ahead of Byron at the line in 4th, while Byron's 5th. And yeah, it's exactly what we're expecting. 23 bikes and a pretty chaotic race once again.
Absolutely, yeah. An awful lot of fun watching that, and just to appreciate the hard work that these riders put in to hone their skill and their racecraft. And Marco Holt on this big machine is doing a great job, as this is where he is absolutely excelling at the moment on this category.
Yeah, he certainly is. He was battling for the championship last season before a crash in Spain, which broke his leg, which meant he could no longer take part. So it meant he couldn't battle for the championship anymore. So certainly this year he'll be hoping for better, such as this result here. 3.2 seconds of a gap between himself and Luke Fitchett at the line, with Finley Polhill finishing in 3rd. Austin Johnson was ahead of his brother Byron at the line, so the older brother beats the younger brother. Wilson Dilks finishes in 6th position, with Frankie Watson in 7th. Sam Garnett finishes the race in 8th, Travis Shaw in 9th, and Bethany Ashby inside the top 10. A very good result and rounding out our top 10 riders. So very, very good race. Marco Holt seemed just to edge away throughout the race, but once again, the Johnsons battling.
Very, very impressive display by our riders. As we get ready, they'll have another chance though later on today to settle any disputes. But we had a really good one there for the MiniGP 50s.
Yeah, so we had a great battle there, as you mentioned. You see Frankie Watson pushing the bike there.
We have a short intermission coming up after. Okay, we're going to have some extra gaps after the MiniGP 70 race 2, but then we'll be back very quickly for the rounds of race 3, the final rounds of the day. So now it's time for our MiniGP 50 category final race of the weekend for these young riders, and well, certainly for this in this category, many of them will continue to feature through the rest of our programming. But here they are, ready to get underway, and we're looking forward to this one, Lewis.
Yeah, we really are. It's been some great racing all weekend. Marco Holt having a great result, taking 2 out of 2 so far in round 2 here at FAB. So what can Marco Holt do? What can the number 58 do? Well, we're going to have to wait and see, because he's going to be put under a lot of pressure from Luke Fitchett and Archie O'Brien.
Yeah, definitely. Luke Fitchett, Mr. Flat Cap, and there's a flat cap in the rear of the picture as well. But there's quite a few of the riders competing in multiple categories. I can see 77 there of Taylor Tomlinson, who are ready to get underway as well, and they're ready to run. Just building the revs. I can see the distinctive helmet there of one rider, Matthew Thomas. That's who I'm thinking of. Number 47, and in the checker. The checker helmet, and you can see also Marco Holt, not too keen to be front and centre. He does his talking on the racetrack.
Yeah, he certainly does. He does talk on the previous, and then you can see Bethany Ashby actually giving the wave to the camera. Look at Alan's been doing a lot of work with Bethany Ashby, trying to improve her riding style as Marco Holt's dad. Checks the bike, gives the bike a final check over, maybe even puts the transponder on the bike, who knows. We're going to have to wait and find out, because that is where the transponder is located, on the bottom of the left front fork on these bikes. But 23 bikes will go out on the MiniGP 50 grid, and hopefully 23 will return.
Yeah, they'll certainly want to put in a good performance as the final race of their weekend on these bikes. So it's very important to all the racers to finish the day well.
Yep, it really is. Bethany, Annabelle McCarthy doing a launch start, practice start, and there we see the riders already lining up on the grid before we go out for our warm-up lap. So final words of advice will be given. It's the final race of the day for the MiniGP 50 class. It's the one they want to win. It's the one they've been waiting for a long time. It's been a busy weekend. It's been a busy day. But now, the final race of the day, who is going to take it?
Well, if the first 2 races were anything to go by, it was Marco Holt and his characteristic late arrival and arriving in style on the front axle. We've got Luke Fitchett, who is performing very well today overall, and I'm sure will be keen to try and interrupt that winning streak so far of 2 races from Marco Holt at the front.
Yep, Luke Fitchett wanting to interrupt that winning streak, and it looks like actually Marco Holt having a slight issue with the bike, or maybe just want to tell his dad something to check that everything's okay, get the thumbs up, and now we will wait. All the helpers will exit the grid, and then we'll head out on our warm-up lap.
And here we go then for your grid, your race start. It will be Marco Holt who will lead away from the pole position, setting the fastest lap in the previous event, with Luke Fitchett, Archie O'Brien and Finney Polehill behind them. Then comes the Johnson row 3, Byron ahead of Austin. Then comes in row 4, Frankie Watson and Wilson Dilks. Sam Gardner and Travis Shaw on the 5th row, and Harley Baker and Bethany Ashby on row 6. On row 7, Chloe Gleason, Matthew Thomas, Taylor Tomlinson, Dylan Torian. On row 9, we've got George Ackerman, Murray Simmons, and on row 10, Annabelle McCarthy and Ollie O'Gorman. On the penultimate row, row 11, Lucy Curtis and Riley Paisley, and right at the back on his own in P23 will be Jensen Bishop.
Yep, so we're going to have to wait and see the riders. Well, head out on their grid and will be ready to attack on track. Look at them. They are ready to go. It's a massive field though, so it's going to take a while for everyone to come into their slots.
It is, and it's just going to build the tension and build the excitement for this fantastic race, final race of the weekend for our Mini GP50 class.
Yep, the helpers getting off the grid and
right down on one knee,
actually, on almost crashing the bike on the grid. A little talk there from Marco once again to his dad. That was Wilson dealt, but now we look towards the light. The light will go on. And the lights go off, and here we go, a little wheelie further back down the field from Chloe Gleason, but Marco Holt leads the way from Luke Fitchett. Archie O'Brien is in third, with Finlay Paulhill having a great race in fourth position. On a great start, a very clean start from the field. Now it's time for attack mode. Both the Johnson brothers, look at them go. Will there be another battle this time around? We're going to have to wait and find out. Wilson Delts there.
What a move!
From Austin Johnson.
87, tremendous move down the inside, not wasting any time to make a move.
Yeah, Austin Johnson getting the better of his younger brother there, and there is Luke Fitchett with Archie O'Brien just behind. So what can Archie O'Brien do? It was not a bad start at all from him, but there we go, a wider line. Oh, Archie O'Brien there having the moment mid-corner. He'll be sent wide, and this will let Finlay Paul have a great opportunity, but he cannot make it work.
No, and most importantly for him, we did see that adjustment going on the on Marco Holt's bike, and that's obviously affected the transponder. We had this problem in the previous race as well, but he definitely is still in the lead from Luke Fitchett and Archie O'Brien. Philippe Paulhill in that fourth position.
Yeah, we see Marco Holt have issues with his transponder. It did look like, I did think his dad was trying to do something with the transponder, maybe even trying to fit it, but FAB-Racing rules, if there is no transponder on that bike, he will not count in the race at all, and in the race results it wouldn't count as well. But there he is in their timing screen now, so clearly it was just a brief glitch. But Austin Johnson and Byron Johnson are still going at it. Austin's still ahead of his brother with Archie O'Brien with the fastest lap of the race, and ahead of Luke Fitchett at the moment. So Luke Fitchett dropping down to third and into the clutches of Finlay Paulhill.
Yeah, must have had an issue there that we didn't see, and Finlay Paulhill wasting no time to get on the inside. I wonder, has Luke Fitchett got a problem on the bike, because he has gone a lot slower? Is it just an interruption and a break in momentum, or does it develop into something more serious?
We're going to have to wait and see. I think we'll be able to tell in a couple of laps time, and certainly down this straight, or maybe it's just something with the gear selector, with the clutch, or it's just one of those occasions where you make one mistake which then leads into another and leads into another, and it really gets into your head, and it can really make you override the bike, which is when you start making mistakes. But Luke Fitchett right now
we've got
in
a problem
fourth.
for Byron Johnson, who's dropping down the order at the moment. I think he might be having an issue with the bike. Luke Fitchett did lose out, but Byron Johnson tumbling down the timing screens.
Yep, tumbling down timing screens. Austin Johnson's making inroads very, very quickly, and there is Byron Johnson. He's really trying to get that bike going, trying to get that bike away. He's looking down at the gear selector, trying to get that bike changed gear. So we'll wait and see how that develops. If he can continue in this race, hopefully he can. But at the front, it's Marco Holt who leads by 7/10 of a second. And there is Ollie O'Gorman further down the field, having a battle, but about to get lapped by our race leaders.
Yep, there's Philippe Paulhill leading Luke Fitchett, and behind him it's Austin Johnson. So this is the battle for a third position.
Oh, getting sat up there and having issues with back markers. It's Finlay Paulhill and it's Luke Fitchett. Wow, Luke Fitchett there taking good advantage there. Finlay Paulhill went to the outside and there was more back markers, I think, what he expected initially. So Luke Fitchett now ahead, and Austin Johnson also getting ahead of Finlay Paulhill. So Finlay Paulhill now has even more work to do.
Absolutely. It looked like he kind of surprised the slower rider going to the outside, and that was where the slower rider was headed for the natural racing angle into the next corner. But up at the front, we've got a really tight battle between Marco Holt, who's won the first two races in this category today, and then Archie O'Brien in the Spider-Man helmet directly behind.
Yep, 0.3 of a second at the line last time around. What can Archie O'Brien do? It's the final race of the weekend, and now Marco Holt is going to have a great ride. Identical levers to have on, but completely different riding styles, as you can see. Archie O'Brien's been on this bike slightly less time than Marco Holt, but they're both just as quick. Marco Holt really having a good weekend. He really goes well on this 50, and he's just starting to get there on the 70 after recovering from his leg injury last year.
And it's going very, very well indeed. Now you've got Austin Johnson tight behind Luke Fitchett, and Luke Fitchett not able to get away from this group. I thought he might be able to start building the pace and bring himself up towards a battle for the first and second positions, but he's now focused fully on defending that third place.
Yep, Luke Fitchett there pushing as hard as he can. He will be inside his helmet, but Brian still is so smooth. Sullivan Mounts has been doing a lot of work with him, telling him where, I believe that is a crasher there further down the field, so he's up on his feet at least and out of harm's way at the moment. But Luke Fitchett going down the back straight with Austin Johnson just behind, so now they power through to make it 3 laps to go.
3 to go with for Marco Holt to hold off and score a perfect string of results in our Racing Monday today. But not if Archie O'Brien has anything to say about it. He is desperate to get a W on the race result column.
Yeah, he certainly is. He would love to take a race win. 3 laps to go. Next time around, it's just going to be 2. The clock is ticking. The time is ticking. It's 5:30 at night, but racing here is as good as ever. Archie O'Brien is trying his best, but now they're approaching Annabelle McCarthy. Well. Oh, Marco Holt there. Marco Holt having an issue with his bike. I think he missed the gear. Marco Holt now squeezing Archie O'Brien. He's not happy with himself there. Marco Holt just missing the gear there, and the bike just didn't go anywhere, obviously, because it had no drive. But now Archie O'Brien is getting held up by a back marker. He's getting held up by Annabelle McCarthy, so not good for both of the riders there. But it looks like Mark Holt has got away scot-free there, considering what it could have been. But now we have Byron Johnson getting his way through traffic there, obviously recovering from that earlier incident. Yep,
recovering well, but there is Marco Holt, the leader, kind of on his own now a little bit. He was significantly in front. In fact, Archie O'Brien did actually pass Marco Holt temporarily by the tiniest of margins over the start-finish line, but Marco Holt is very much in the lead now by 1.8 seconds on starting his final lap.
Yeah, starting his final lap, and back markers did play a massive part, but Sullivan Mounts did allude to the fact that for front runners, the amount of bikes on the grid could be quite frustrating, especially the amount of different abilities that are currently on the grid. But as he said, everyone has to start from somewhere, and Mark Holt started from somewhere, and now he is on the top. He is powering his way through to finish this final race of round 2.
Yep, coming into the final corner then. A triple win for Marco Holt. What an amazing result for him. He'll remember this day for a long time. He wins at the third race of 3, and that is the finishing order then. Marco Holt, Archie O'Brien and Austin Johnson on the podium.
Yep, great ride there. Byron Johnson making up to 12th position in the end there, but Mark Holt, your race winner. Archie O'Brien getting held up by back markers. Both of them had their issues on, it seems to be on the exact same lap there, but Marco Holt getting off better and getting the race win, so he'll be very, very happy to take all 3 wins of round 2.
He will indeed, absolutely. A tremendous race. These riders have treated us to some fantastic racing action through this entire weekend.
Yep, it'll be very good. You can see he's playing about now. He did a lot of stopping at the back section of the course, and now he's waiting for Archie O'Brien to congratulate them on what a fun race that was. They both had a great race there, and Luke Fitchett as well seemed just to fade away towards the end of the race, but lap time wise it didn't drop too much, still in the 45-second range. Yeah,
I wonder if there was some further complication there, but your top 10 then confirmed as Marco Holt, the triple winner of Racing Monday, winning by 2.7 seconds in the end from Archie O'Brien and Austin Johnson on the podium. Luke Fitchett down to 4th, and Finlay Polhill secured 5th position. In 6th, Frankie Watson, a good result for Frankie, and then Wilson Dilks in 7th. Travis Shaw and Matthew Thomas 8th and 9th, and Harley Baker your final in the top 10. Bethany Ashby finished 11th. Byron Johnson, George Ackerman, Dylan Torian and Chloe Gleeson will secure championship points though.
Yep, great race there. All the riders making their way into the pit lane after what was the final race of the weekend for the MiniGP 50 class.